Ronnie, help! There's ass monsters under the bed.
That's some beautiful data bata.
Hey, how do we Alright, how do we start this one?
You'll figure it out. You always do.
Welcome to the Blazing Bush, the one place on the internet where we're not afraid to say, Alexa, what's up, Daddy-O?
Here is what I found on the web for how to choke somebody really hard.
Welcome to the Blazing Bush. Welcome to the Blazing Bush, the one podcast on the internet where we listen to the podcast on the internet.
You can't get away with the crunch, because the crunch always gives you away.
Howdy ho!
Start us off. Man with axe beard is...
And ham.
Listen to man as texture of voice. Touch
Alan.
his face, which has become
guys.
a man.
Smell my ass.
Whatever the hell he said.
No, he said, your ass stinks.
Hey guys, your ass stinks.
Something like that. And then he'd go, guys, don't stop bullying me.
Here's what I heard.
Hey guys, your ass things.
Your ass does things.
Just as confused as the people who made the series.
To Sleepaway camp. La, la, la.
This episode's going to be a musical.
Finally.
Taylor, why don't you kick off the show?
I thought you never asked.
They already killed it.
Okay, it's return to Sleepaway camp. Ronnie's back. Ricky's back.
Angela's back.
That was it, right?
Yeah.
Director.
Robert Hiltzik is back. It's not as good as you would hope.
No, it was actually kind of a letdown, but
Pretty horrible for like the first half.
yeah. But
Like
it
the
was
first
number
2
2.
thirds, really.
Yeah, it was
The
pretty
third,
bad.
The third act, it picked
It was
the hell
slow,
up.
which was nice. That wasn't too many deaths, but also not
It
so
was
nice.
it was paced like the first one. Well,
Try to.
like the first one, but it didn't.
I mean, yeah, they had similarities with like, at least with the chef dying.
Yeah,
I don't know if. Oh yeah, he's a chef.
cook really. But there's a difference. One
Right.
one went to school, one didn't.
Right. So that's what I was. I just want to make sure because I knew it was wrong.
Yeah, I was helping you out.
Then who else? Who was the next one to die?
The weed, the kid. Who was
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
the two
stone,
guy-
the
which-
stoner or whatever, like, which I honestly forgot about.
Yeah, same here. Those two looked like the shit sisters from number 2.
Yeah, but like I swear to God, they weren't even acting like. At
They
least the shit sisters seemed like they at least
They were
probably
stoned
were
or
high.
something.
Like I could believe them being stoned.
Yeah.
At least
I think less was
to some
more.
degree. Yeah.
Because they were like the guys were cheesing
yeah,
so hard.
Cheesing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, but it's like I said to you, they looked like they got their like impression of high of people who are like on drugs. They look like they got their impression of like guys who are high from people pretending to be people who were high.
Right.
Like
Less is more. They should have done like, because yeah, people who are high don't usually do that.
I've never seen anyone on marijuana be all like
Just giggling the whole time. Like they were.
Yeah, like they were, and like, well, their laughs were like hopelessly fake.
Yeah, so it needs to be more like a subtle like that, you know, instead of like, in your face.
Yeah.
Like that. You know. That one death was kind of like random with the kid with the eye.
Yeah, but that was funny though. That was actually
that's when they
towards the
started
end.
getting
That was
good.
funny,
I was like,
yeah.
don't
That
know.
one felt like a little bit out of place just because of how like well done it was.
Yeah.
Like,
Compared
they
to the
kept
rest
looking
of them.
down the fucking hole. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I see
You
it's
knew
right
it
there.
was gonna happen.
Yeah, so it's just like they kept doing it, just fucking
Right.
with it. It's like, when's it gonna
You
happen?
look down here.
It's
You look. Which one's gonna get Sliced.
At first, I was like, "Oh, Shade's gonna get in his eye," and then like by the end of it, I'm like laughing because I'm like, "Oh, that was funny."
Right. I'm like, what?
They kept jumping down,
would
and
be
finally
cool
they did it.
if it didn't go through there, it went through a different way. Because you'd be thinking that it was gonna come through there, you know?
Yeah, he just like spears through the window or
Something,
something.
yeah, and he goes flying through. I mean, that's
Like
not,
he comes back up. I swear it was there, and then like flies through his eye from in like the window or something like that. That would have been funny.
over like that. The guy getting his, I guess it was everything.
Guy got like his.
Because he said, I don't know what it was.
He got the whole package pulled off.
Just ripped off because him and this, I don't know if she was counselor.
She
or
appeared
anything.
like the. Do you remember when the retarded kid was thrown out onto the stage with like no clothes on?
Yeah.
Like that's where she appeared suddenly in the crowd. She was with the Australian guy.
Oh,
Suddenly she was
okay.
there.
Okay.
And I _ suddenly.
Right. Because she was like, oh, okay. They're out gonna get frisky in the woods. She had impeccable hearing.
Yeah, I think actually also whenever that Alan, or like the Mr. Bumpkins,
The lovable
was on,
hero.
Yeah, we'll get to him. When he was out there fucking around on the docks trying to tell that girl that he didn't skin the frogs, I think she was the chick saying "Get off my ducks," or like "Get away from my girls." I think she was the chick saying "Get away from my girls" or whatever.
Could have been. Was the girl who said "Get off my docks" in the red? Was she?
That was
with the
the director. Yeah, she appears like 3 times.
in the beginning when she does the fake whistle,
Yeah, then on the docks when she's like, "Oh, you're on my docks without a bathing suit on."
and then at the
And
end,
then at the end when she's with the director, like right before he gets killed. Yeah, before he gets killed, like, and that's it.
okay. I do like it that a lot of people didn't die.
Yeah, it was better handled. It wasn't just. I was gonna say better executed.
Wasn't everybody? Shing. Many last words. No.
So, where the fuck are we at? Well, hold on. We're
talking
getting
about deaths.
we're getting like too far in. All right, so let's start the. Okay, let's start
So
this.
it jumps in.
Let's ease into it.
I mean, we just did what
No,
they did.
Hold on, we're gonna ease into this.
Remember, it just started right in.
It did just start right in, but hold on, we're gonna be better than that. We're not gonna do what we did last
No.
episode, where we just hold on. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me just move the mic around a little bit more for no reason.
I better not end at the same spot that you started.
Okay. Oh, don't you worry. Just whip this thing up and then hit you in the face.
What if I talk like this?
Just whip it out and slap you with it.
What?
Okay, so
You guys enjoying the hospitality? Okay.
that's hospitality. Let's talk about that guy.
We might have just met Chad from Chili Peppers, okay? And he gave us some food. Cool.
That's hospitality, guys.
Boom. That's what he
All right,
said.
now let's segue into this.
This device is much closer to something you wear. You get on it, and you lean forward, and you go forward. You lean back, and you go back.
All right. So today, Taylor and I were gonna watch Return to Sleepaway Camp, and then we did, and now we're talking about it.
Be careful with the mic.
Honestly, I think I'm all sleepawayed out. Like I just am so fucking. No, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be.
out.
No, I'm gonna be real here.
You better be.
No, but we're gonna stop talking about the movie for a second because I want to be honest. Sleepaway Camp. I don't know about it for you, because I'm the one who's been putting these together, editing them. And
That's
whatnot.
true.
You've just been along for the ride whenever we watch.
I'm just cruising.
What? Still cruising after all these years. Anyway, so I'm the one who puts. I put these together. I have to go grab the movies.
And watch him and listen to him.
Yeah, watch them and listen to them all the time. Sleep for the past month. Sweep away for the past. I'd say
Sweep the leg!
roughly for the past month and a half. Sleepaway Camp has been
your life.
been this presence in my life that I cannot seem to shake. And it's like what is more exhausting is only one of the movies is like really good.
And we watched that at the
like-
beginning of the month.
And like that's where it began. And I was super enthusiastic. And like the rest of the movies, I hadn't planned on doing the entire series. Whenever we started this,
Joke's on you.
The joke is very much on me. Because when I first started this, I floated to you way back when we started this podcast, and I was like, episode 1 and 2 suck. Yes, they do. Don't you try to tell me any different.
Yeah, they do.
They blow.
Why would I tell you anything different?
Well, I don't know. You were the one. I thought you were gonna be like, hey, I'm the one who put the sound effects in. But yeah.
Oh, you said episode. I thought you meant the other.
No, episodes 1 and 2 of this
Of
podcast.
our stuff. Of course
Yeah.
it sucks.
Sucks.
It's us.
It's. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
It's-
What are you expecting, dude? You put shit in, you get shit out.
You're just digging up what you're shoveling in. Like, what? So, I was like, the first 2 episodes suck. We got to change this up a bit. I don't want to talk about Star Wars 9. I don't want to talk about my personal life.
No.
Okay, this isn't the Pain Train radio game.
Pain Train video game.
Could be. We could switch it midway. Just change our name.
Yeah, and I'll leave too.
Gage, where'd you go, buddy?
So, no, but and it was.
God damn it. Raggy.
Yeah.
There you go. It's boobs.
So anyway,
His balls, man.
I floated to you. Let's do this movie, Sleepaway Camp, that I have heard of, and I already knew the ending to Sleepaway Camp, the first one. I knew it. I learned it years ago. I figured what. I learned what the ending was years ago, and like that was how I heard about the movie. Was the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But years later, I still kind of remembered it. I was like, oh yeah, that movie. Kind of just came back. I think maybe it was like, just like months before you and I started talking about the podcast and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? Why don't we do this? Because it showed up on Amazon Prime. I was like, okay, I'll put it on my watch list. And I was like, why don't we do that for the podcast? Why don't we watch it, talk about it? You know, like, and so I watched it after you agreed, and I did my notes, and
Yeah. Yeah.
getting crawling all up in that. So anyway, I said, let's do Sleepaway Camp. And he said, all right, yeah, we'll do it. When I watched the movie, I did those notes, that little synopsis segment from the 3rd episode, and I thought the movie was kick-ass. I was like, it was enjoyable to watch. Now, there was plenty wrong with it, but I thought there was just as much about it that was actually good and enjoyable. And it was far more watchable than these last 3. It was
So much.
It's far more watchable, far more enjoyable,
No comparison.
and it was better put together. And the execution of the whole story was well done, or at least as well done as it could have been.
Right.
I've seen far better movies. I've seen far better movies. Like I've seen movies that are just fantastic and I love that I'll probably never like really get up to watch again. But I would totally watch Sleepaway Camp again. I'm not saying like right now, whatever. I'm just saying like, in general, I would so watch that movie again.
Right.
Like just a few months down the line, or like next year or something, I'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna watch Sleepaway Camp. That movie was so fun. Like I could totally do that. It was fun and it was actually a really enjoyable movie. And the twist was how I learned about it. And so when I watched it, and I knew how it was gonna end, I watched it, and even though I knew how it was gonna end, the ending still hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I showed
When
it
you
to
first watched it, yeah.
Yeah, when I
you
first
can hear
watched
about
it-
it, but when you watch it, it's
Yeah,
something different.
and I even saw like the footage of the ending. Like I already knew what the ending looked like, even kind of. I mean, years later, my memory was kind of foggy on it, because I only saw it once. So,
Right, yeah.
When you try to piece it back, sometimes like you only see something once, like years later, you try to piece it back together. It's not quite.
The same.
Yeah, it's not quite what it is. It's iffy. So I tried to piece it. You try to piece something back together after
Right.
like you see it like once, and then like years later you try to piece it back together in your head. It's not quite like it's still the kind of the gist of it is still the same, but maybe something doesn't look the same. Things look different.
Right.
And it's like Angela looked different from what I had remembered, like far more feminine. I remember her because in my head, like again, I only saw like little clips of footage, like snippets, like here and there of her, and then like the ending shot, and then like that was years ago, like long before I met you. It was like way back when. This is old times. So
Little Gage.
yeah. So like Angela, like in my head, how I remembered her, looked like more between boy and girl, like not totally girl. like not totally feminine like she did in the first movie, because in the first movie she was played by a girl. I saw like maybe it was a boy being dressed up as a girl, but like well enough, like passably enough that you could maybe believe it if you didn't know.
Right.
But then I saw the movie. I was like, oh shit, she looks way more like and totally like a girl. Like that is a girl playing her even. Okay,
Right.
cool. And then I went back, like that. I didn't quite remember it, so like just seeing that already was different. And so I watched the whole thing. I was like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's good build up. I mean, I'm with it. These characters are watchable. I can go with them. You know, like some of them I kind of like. A few of them I like watching them.
Right.
Ronnie.
Yeah,
Ronnie built
our
like
man.
Ronnie built like a goddamn tree.
Jesus.
Strong as an ox. Doesn't look like one.
No.
But he still is in this movie.
My God.
Like some 30 years later. Anyway, so then I watched the first movie and hit the ending and I was like, oh shit, this was actually really good. Like, not saying it was a masterpiece, but I mean, it was just really good.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved watching it, and I had a great time. And then I had only planned on watching that. Then we talked about it. You're like, come on, let's watch the others. And I was like, yeah, all right, why not? You know, I'll bet
I got him.
they won't be as good, but maybe they'll be like
Oh, I got him. They were so shitty.
He did, yeah. The joke's on me again.
Joke's on him. I like making jokes to my friend. Remember, it's the musical. You answer with the song now. I would understand. Yeah.
Anyway, so oh man. So like I watched the second one. I was expecting, because I watched the trailers for the second and third one like out of the gate. I was like, okay. I was like, you know, this look iffy, but I bet you they'll be a lot of fun. Like they won't be good, but they'll be a hell of a lot of fun to watch and like poke at and shit on. And they'll just like they'll go. I thought it was gonna be like a Friday the 13th sequel almost. You know what I mean? Where like maybe they're not amazing, but you don't rate a Friday the 13th film the same way you do like something like fucking No Country for Old Men. Not at all. No, you look at them entirely differently. You rate them
separate category.
You rate them as a slasher, like complete, like its own thing film. That's why I think like 2 through 4 and then 6 and 7 are like the best ones of Friday the 13th, hands down the best ones. Like, and I can name the best ones out of those.
The ones that you just named.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5. I can name the best ones out of those 5, but those 5 are the best out of the whole series.
That's
interesting.
It's not number 1's not in there too.
Well, that one doesn't have Jason in it, and they're still kind of finding their footing with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I like the ones
just because like usually
I like the ones with Jason in them.
The idea, but...
because it's just like watching Jason.
Right.
Because in the first one, it's like it's doing the first person thing.
Oh, okay.
Which is
they probably didn't know what the killer was going to be, so they just used that for.
Yeah. Which was, I don't know about that. Maybe they knew it was going to be her like the whole time, but which they did that in Sleepaway Camp. But well, actually, not all the time.
Not all
they
the
did
time.
it once.
They did some hand stuff. And
yeah, they did some hands. They did one.
Almost like we were looking at both of them because they'd be looking away. They wouldn't be looking at us at the camera.
Yeah. Or like when Judy got punched in the face, she wasn't looking at us. She was looking, but then she was looking at Angela, and Angela punched her in the face. But anyway, that's not. So yeah, I thought the second and third ones would be like Friday the 13th or something. I'd be like, oh shit, that'll be fun to watch at least. Then I saw the trailers. I was like, they might be fun. I saw her like in the third one especially. I was like, oh dude, she looks like she's gonna be a badass in the third.
That poster.
She looked like she was gonna be
promising.
She in the third and a little bit in the trailer too. Angela looked like she was gonna be a badass in the third one. And then I watched them. We had to do. I'm gonna go ahead and reveal it here. We had to do. Actually, I think we already said it. Actually, in episode 4, didn't we? But I'll just say it again. We had to do episode 4 twice. Like we recorded it once from watching Sleepaway Camp 2. Yeah, we did already say this. I remember now. But yeah, we recorded it twice, and we were about like how we are now, but worse.
Because the movie was worse.
And we were just so exhausted, kind of like we are now, but worse. And we were like, fucking golly, this movie just sucked. It wasn't fun.
Fucking golly. Gee willikers.
Well, I mean, Jiminy fucking Christmas. It wasn't funny. It wasn't fun. It was not entertaining at all. The kills kind of blew because there was no like you said, they didn't build a repertoire.
Right.
Like for who anyone was, like who was getting killed. Like people just got killed willy-nilly.
Just there, dead.
And we already knew it was Angela, which is fine. But it's like, we already know who the killer is. Don't try to build any suspense. Don't try to do anything. Just, like, pace it well. Have her kill. And, like, at least build these people up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Better than they did, at least. A bit better than you did. So, like, all right.
They could have done what this movie tried to do. Again,
better.
they showed a little less with the suspense. Since we already knew who the killer was, maybe if we were like, how are they going to die?
Yeah.
Because it was basically, they were in the spot, and you're like, oh, like, she's going to use that. And then, like, they would just bring them
In
over
the
there.
second one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
second
basically.
one, the third one, it was just like, this is what I'm going to do, and you're going to die.
I mean, in the beginning of the second one, they like TJ, that one character, seriously got up in front of everybody and listed what Angela was going to use to kill people.
Right.
He was like, chainsaw, this length of
Is
rope.
that foreshadowing, I guess?
I guess, but you know, like you already know, like when you hear all that stuff, like Angela's gonna use all that, like chainsaw, this length of rope, the battery from my car.
That actually got me. The battery from the car, I didn't remember that, so that was kind of like, oh, she's using that. But again, it was just kind of like no build up to it. She just had it in her cup.
Yeah, she just like, why do you have battery acid in your cup?
And then we're just like, hey, thanks for your car.
I was like, I knew your car battery would come in handy or something
after
like that.
So you're like, oh, there was no like me going.
What's she splashing with?
It's like,
battery
I
acid?
didn't know what the weapon was, so
What?
I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay. If I would have known,
that was the thing about 2 was that none of the kills were like, oh, nice. A lot of the kills are kind of just like, okay, I guess this is happening now.
Right. Like even some
the
of them,
girl
I was
in the
like,
beginning,
they're dying.
That girl who got daintily smacked in the side of a head with the side of the head with that log.
Some head on her head.
Like anytime Angela hits somebody with anything,
they're going
especially
down.
that girl. Yeah, no matter what it is, no matter how hard she hits. That
Except
girl at the
for
beginning
her.
of the second one, when she got if Angela gets hit by Angela is impervious to wood.
Yeah.
Basically.
To everything too. Even if she gets stabbed, she still comes after you.
Yeah, and then ending of the third one, she got stabbed multiple times in the abdomen and still was able to have enough energy to kill both of those guys, lay back down, and be like, just take their business. Are you having fun? Fun has just begun.
Just laying there like, I'm not dying. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And so, I didn't plan on watching every Sleepaway Camp movie.
But he's so happy we did.
Now, hold on. You might want to let me finish on that one. I did not plan on watching every Sleepaway Camp movie. I'm not happy that we watched every Sleepaway Camp movie.
But he's a better person for it.
I didn't want to watch Sleepaway Camp 3. I didn't want to watch Sleepaway Camp 2. Then I agreed to do it. Then I didn't want to watch Sleepaway Camp 3, but I did it because I was like, all right, I'll do it because we got to keep going.
He's a man of his word.
I said I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
After both of those, today, when we got back to your house, I was not. You saw me lay on the couch.
Oh, I did.
I did not want to watch.
I also saw your face after the first 5 seconds.
I did not want to watch Return to Sleepaway Camp. I was not enthusiastic when the file didn't work at first. I was not happy about that. I was not like, oh, nice. I was like, well, shit. I believe I did joke and be like, oh, we can't watch it now. Or maybe I didn't. I don't think I did. I guess if I can't remember, I probably didn't. But I'm not
all
drunk.
in your head.
But
are you high?
I was not. I didn't want to watch
it.
I did. Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe. I did not want to watch this.
Yeah, let's skip it.
I didn't want to watch this movie. All right, but I did.
All right.
But you understand me, Taylor?
Yeah, you don't watch the movie.
I'm pointing my fingers at him right now, audience. I will do it.
You didn't watch the movie. Don't look at me. Is that a shot?
It can be whatever you want it to be. No, it's that strawberry syrup.
Yeah. Ooh.
They spilled my syrup.
Is that what she bled because she had ate so much sweets?
She had very sugary blood.
Yeah.
Everybody, Snuffy Bigfoot, come see what Elmo did.
Oh, what have you done, Elmo?
Well, Elmo wrote his own song.
Really? What's it called?
Elmo's song.
So I didn't want to watch Return to Sleepaway Camp. And now I don't even want to fucking talk about it. Because I just have nothing to say at this point.
You liked it a little bit more, though, than 3 and 2,
I did,
right?
I did. But here's the thing.
Let's just talk about that, then.
Well, yeah, I did. No, hold on. I want to make it clear. I'm not trying to be negative.
Okay.
I'm
No, not saying that.
Okay, well, no, I'm just.
If you say that, we'll come ahead. We'll find you.
If you say I'm trying to be negative, Taylor will come to your house and he will do something.
Write a letter and say no.
But no, I'm not trying to be a negative or anything, or be a Debbie Downer.
Are you a negative Nancy?
I'm not trying to be a Peter Party pooper.
We always love it when you are.
I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to say I don't want to talk about it now because, and maybe you'll get what I'm saying, maybe not. I just don't have anything to say at this point. It's technically, even though the fourth one was finally released in 2012, this is technically supposed to be the fifth movie, though it is kind of the fourth one that was officially released in a complete state.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm just kind of done. I'm glad to be done with them. I mean, we still got the other thing,
right?
But that's the whole other thing. That I'm a little more enthusiastic about because that's more of a creative endeavor than just watching. I just don't have anything to say. You kind of get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, what is there to say about this one that hasn't been said?
Just going through the movie.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to do this. But it's just like I can't. I just want to lay it down straight. I just don't have anything to say. You get what I mean? Because like, what's there to say about this one? I'm sure you have plenty to say, no doubt.
Yeah,
but
always do.
And I want you to say it. I want to hear you say it. I just want to get this out first. For me, it's like, what is there to say about this one that we haven't already said about the other three? Because a lot of things that are good about it are kind of things that we liked about the first one,
right?
To a degree, a couple other
had
things
similarities.
Yeah. All the things that are bad about it are things that are like, well, we're bad about the 2 and 3. So there's whatever we're saying now. A lot of it's just going to come down to
it's just a different face.
It's just it's just like different like day. What they did here. That was like 2 and 3. We didn't like that. Oh, this is what they did here. It was kind of like 1. We liked that, but here's this thing that 1 did that we didn't like. You know, it's just going to be that. And so for me personally, I don't have a whole lot more to say. So I don't want to try to. Excuse me. I don't want to try to force anything out. If I don't have anything to say, because I don't want to just like what we were doing when we tried to record episode 4 and talk about Sleepaway Camp 2. Clearly, like, of course, the next time when we did episode 5, not episode 5, the real episode 4, sorry.
Right.
When we did the real episode 4, I was, of course, far more enthusiastic. About the last 2 episodes we did, I was clearly far more enthusiastic about doing it.
We're talking about 3 and 2, or when we...
2 and 3, and when we did the Panera thing and all that.
Right.
I was clearly far more enthusiastic. But when we first tried to talk about Sleepaway Camp 2, I was kind of like I am. Yeah.
Because it was such a
letdown. There was nothing. Yeah, it was such a letdown. So I think a lot of it was disappointment, and there wasn't a whole lot to say about that. But we proved that there clearly was a whole lot to say about 2 last episode. But I think we were just I think we were just a little more enthusiastic.
I think so, and probably you too, or more.
Oh yeah, I was a little bit more like hyped up, and I was ready today too. And then after just watching it, all I can say is it was all right. It was better than 2, better than 3. Wasn't as good as 1, and that's honestly what I expected.
Right.
I didn't specifically expect this to be like in that position. I didn't expect any of them after 1 to be good, but that's just like that's part and parcel. That's just how it usually is. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's
really.
how it works usually.
When you start milking them all out, they're never really as good as the first one. If the first one was even good to begin with.
But we thought it'd be good, or at least better than 2 and 3 because of who was going to be in it and who was directing it.
Right. Well, but of course that's been proven before, and it was proven now that's not always the case.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, that's all I have to say. Really, is it was all right. Better than 2 and 3. Wasn't as good as 1. Take it away.
And I agree. But I'll just go real quickly through the movie then, just to give them an idea, because why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, movie starts, jumps right in. None of the characters are very likable except for Ronnie and the bird, and they don't do. No, you're good. They don't do as many deaths. They have one. It takes a while. But they have one in the kitchen. Then they have the stoner. Then what else was there? They had. Him and his girl were out by the water
maybe
pumps.
Maybe not stupid, but yeah, go ahead.
How it ended up. Him and his girl out by the water pump, and she can hear everything, and he's like, it's totally fine. Like, it's just the pumps. And she's like, I hear stuff. And they go out into the woods, and she has to go back to get something, so he's taking a leak. And then Angela ties him up, and he thinks it's the girl he's with. And he ends up with his pants down, and she ties a barbed wire noose around his junk.
Wasn't barbed wire, but it was wire.
I thought it was the stuff that was on the top of the roof.
No, it wasn't that. I think he would have had a very different reaction if it were that.
That's what I thought, though, because
I
after
think it was
that
like,
showed it.
I don't want to say fishing line.
It kind of looked like fishing line to me.
It did look a lot like fishing line, some
But-
kind of line, and she tied it up through all that stuff. I think as a good, because it was strong line. So I think it was like as some leverage or sort of like a pulley. She tied it all through that barbed wire, and then tied it to the back of that Jeep.
It was weird how they cut again, they might not even know
It was cut.
They cut it so weirdly to
Yeah.
make it seem like it was that. 'Cause that's why after I was like, oh.
I could see it. I can see what you're saying too, but I could also see the line. I guess I ended up seeing it. You didn't. Nothing wrong with that. But I did notice the line in there. I was like, oh, okay, so it's gone up through all that, and then it's because they did cut it weird. They cut to the Jeep with the line on it. I was like, okay. Then they cut up there to the barbed wire.
Right.
So it was like what they should have done was like have it go up. I'm not saying this would have been better, but it would have been easier to understand.
To follow.
Have it like show the wire or like the line on the ground, go up through the barbed wire, then down and up on the back of the Jeep or like under the Jeep where it was tied. I think that would have been
That probably would have helped.
probably would have
A little
been
more clear.
It wouldn't necessarily made it better, but it would have made it more clear. Wouldn't have been nearly as confusing.
Yeah. So they did that, and then you're like, oh, God, it's tied around there. His girl is coming back, and they're yelling at each other. It takes way too long for this whole scene to happen. Way too long.
Yeah, like you said, it built too much suspense or anticipation.
And because they were building stuff, but they left stuff out. So you're like, what are we like getting nervous about? He's tied up to the car. She's not even in the car. Who's gonna drive away the car? And so like we just sat there forever. Once she got into the car, then it was like, oh, like is he going to?
And then she gets stuck.
Right. She drives and is about to pull, or the line's gonna get what's that word? Like taut? Not taut, but like
I think
it's about to get like where it has no more anything left. No. So it's right there. You think any further, it's gonna rip off, but she gets stuck, like you said, and then she's taking forever.
And I think that would have worked a lot better if instead of like trying to build a bunch of anticipation with her outside of the car,
sooner.
If she would have just went ahead and been in the car and then she drove
that
off
was
and
the
then
tension.
She got stuck.
Yeah, that's the tension of like, is the car gonna go? But that took so long.
Like,
by the time
it's just it's established what's the lines tied around his fucking cock and balls. Then she gets stuck.
Too late.
Then she gets stuck. That would have been far better. Because it would have all been quick. It would have been moving on. It wouldn't have just gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Kind of funny, but kind of dumb when he like the car would like pull and he'd go like his face.
Yeah,
and then she would stop and he'd go oh.
Whoa, oh,
and it just kept doing that for a while. Then she remembers because they mentioned
get a bit tight, huh? You're gonna get tight.
God damn it!
Fucking just finish saying what you were saying about the guy getting his dick pulled.
You're gonna tie that rope around my cock, huh?
Okay. So she puts it into fourth gear.
I apologize. Taylor's letting out all his pent-up sexual frustrations here on the podcast.
It's where I feel comfortable. It's where I feel. It's where I feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, no one listens to it. So
yeah, it's just me and you. She puts it into four-wheel drive. That's what I was trying to say. And she just rips that shit, and his junk goes with it. And he goes, ooh! And we both went, ooh!
Dinner before you pull my dick off.
Kinky foreplay.
I like to be wine and dined before I get emasculated.
Before I go smooth as a Ken's doll. But, so that goes on.
I love that you wanted to do this weird inside joke that we subtly built up for the entire podcast where we're both just Ken dolls and we have no dicks.
I forgot about that.
And that I know you fucking did because the day
you never said anything.
The day you floated it to me was when we did the Panera episode. And I tried, if you go back and listen, because we talked about it being a mound or whatever down there. And I said I just have a mound down there. I said I'm not wearing any pants and it's just a mound. And then you were confused. And then you said it was a moose knuckle. I tried to do that joke, and immediately you were like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Yeah, clearly. And it was your idea.
I know. That's what happens.
So, anyway.
When you're me.
Smooth
Anyway.
as a Ken doll.
Now, he's a Ken doll. And they left him there.
Yeah.
With no cock. Or balls. And the woman's driving as fast as she can. And
Can't catch her. She's the gingerbread man.
Woman. And she gets barbed wire.
She's the gingerbread woman.
Around her face. Wrapped around. And then she goes, ah. And she drives into a tree.
Yeah.
Then it cuts. Then it cuts to, I don't know his name. But it's a dude who's looking at Playboy or whatever. And, Penthouse.
It doesn't cut
or,
immediately, does it, to him?
I'm pretty sure
it does, but nothing happens yet.
He's just chilling. He walks over and there's like a hole. No,
this doesn't happen.
It cuts
yet.
over and it just shows like they say it's a broomstick, that's been like sharpened or whatever.
I thought he called it a Brewster.
Get Quake.
Crisp is better. Fellas, why not leave it to the kids out there?
Say out there in the great wide open. Yeah, he's definitely wide and open.
Right. Oh God, poor guy. And then it cuts over to the guy with the porn mag. Porno mag.
Okay, yeah. Here's like probably
one of the best
kills.
Yeah,
in this
if
movie.
not the best. So this kid though, the other kid that was able to go, comes back with panties all over him. He's holding them. He's wearing them. And then they're both looking at this down the hole.
I'm sorry, I just fucking zoned
Perfect.
out for a minute, and I came back to panties around his head.
But so yeah, they're taking turns looking through the hole. And then the one kid that was there first, who has the magazine, gets it right in the eye, and he's screaming. And then
Oh wait, did you talk about what?
Yeah, but they're both looking, taking turns
Okay,
looking.
yeah,
He goes,
yeah,
"Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
it looks right there." And the guy's like, "Let me see." And they're both looking, and you're like, "Okay, both dumb. One of them is gonna get something
But
in the eye."
the way it's done, it's done really well.
Oh yeah,
Or I think it's done pretty
goofy and
well.
funny.
It's pretty goofy,
But
like
you're thinking, "Oh my God, come on, man! Don't put your eye right there."
But they build up like how we were talking about earlier, how the suspense in that one scene sucked because it was too much. This
Right.
one had like the right amount. Like they kept like doing it like, wait, so is it gonna be that guy or is it that guy? Like why do they keep both
If you
looking
look,
down?
yeah, it took like what, 15 to 20 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
So that was good
like,
timing.
I don't
She's
see
like,
what
"Oh
you're talking
God."
about. Well, it's right there. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
look right
I mean,
there, man.
That thing's gonna.
Oh, I can
and
see
then
it.
it comes up through his eye.
And yeah, it gets him, and then he's like, "Ah!"
Like we said, it would have been. It was already pretty good. I think it would have been better, like you said, if it came from a different angle. Or
Right, because
somewhere
you're
else.
expecting them to get
So like
hit
when he
in
comes
the-
back, like he looks and he's like, "What? It's not there anymore." And then he comes back up and it's like shot through the window and goes
Right.
through his head or something like that.
Another way, because you're thinking it's coming through the hole. If it came through another way, it'd be like, "Oh damn!" Because you're already on edge, thinking, "Okay, the next person who puts their eye down there is going to get it." So you're already kind of antsy. If you were to come up and say, "I don't see it," and then it comes out of nowhere, it still gets you.
Yeah.
It's just, you're, "Oh shit." I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, I would have liked it better.
So and then it's not all the way through his,
And it would have been like,
his
"Oh,
head.
that's why they didn't get it through their eye."
Exactly. So they're like, "Oh," it's like sticking in his eye, and then he runs into the wall, and it goes through his head. So he's dead. And then the boy,
through his head, and he's dead.
I wish he would have done a little. I wish his voice was able to do this, but he tried. He did like a really good girl scream.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Ah!" And I was like, "Oh my God!" With panties all over. He has panties on his head and his arms. He's screaming like a girl.
Pantalones.
Pantalones.
That's
And-
just pants.
I know, but it's close. So, who is it?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Oh, okay, throw it away. And
I did.
I know.
I was here.
I saw him, and I heard, and I liked.
Don't you fucking dare.
So, then after that, I think things get steamy. So they're trying to make it like Alan kills everyone, but we know,
Yeah.
and his body would not do the things that the killer does. He the black girl dies because she lays down, and under the bed there's a whole bunch of spikes, and Angela jumps on the top of the bunk, and the top bunk comes down and squashes her with sweet strawberry syrup coming out of her body, pouring down.
Sugary blood.
Yeah. Then the main girl who's supposed to be like, kind of like Angela, where she's like the nice girl,
No,
You
I
know
don't
what
think
mean?
she's not supposed to be like Angela.
Well, like, because in the first one, Angela, we weren't supposed to think she was the killer. She's an American girl with Paul. Oh, they're gonna be sweethearts, get together.
I don't know where the American Girl thing came from, but
Well, because back then, like the all American girl, she gets the husband, trophy, like all that kind of stuff that goes with it, like white picket fence, family.
that is not what I was thinking. I watched that movie, but all right. Anyway,
well,
no,
just that kind of like the it girl.
This
I
girl
want
is
to be
more,
like
I guess
her.
she's kind of the it girl. She's just the girl that Alan has a big crush on.
Right. Well, we don't know
And she
any of the
doesn't-
other names. Can you name any of the other girls' names? Because I can't. Her name is Karen.
I didn't know her fucking name. I didn't give a shit what any of their names were.
Well,
I
was just saying.
only knew Ronnie's name because it was Ronnie.
Well, yeah, it is
And
Ronnie, but because they didn't want. No one else was.
I
really
knew
important.
Alan's name because they kept saying his name all the time.
That too, and BJ.
Yeah,
His nickname is BJ. But
Alan the blowjob.
yeah,
I knew Karen's name, but it left me there for a minute, and then you started saying the thing about the American Girl and whatnot, and I was like, well, okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're watching it, the person you want to be like, has it all together, all around. Like, she's so likable. She has all these friends.
Didn't think any of that about Angela. I didn't want to be like Angela.
Well,
you're losing me. You're losing me.
Oh no, you're going off the wagon. Well, because in the other one,
I didn't see Angela like that. I saw Angela as just like she's catching shit.
But you're rooting for her because she's not doing anything. She's nice, like there's hope for her, Angela.
Yeah, kind of.
In terms
I can
of-
see that. Yeah, I
like
can
that
see
kind
that
of a
definitely.
thing.
Well, I can. Yeah, definitely see that. I didn't. You confused me with the American Girl stuff and like
Well,
all
that's
the
just like
husband, the white picket fence.
The whole idea of like when you're looking at her, like she's the perfect.
Well, when I watched her, I didn't think perfect, and I didn't think of the
Well,
American.
no one's
when I watched
perfect,
her, I didn't think
but-
she was like, oh, she's the perfect girl, and then I didn't think the American Dream. You lost. I'm sorry. You just really lost me with that one.
That's okay.
I've
That's
never
what I
heard
was
anybody
thinking.
talk about anyone that way in a movie.
Well, that's just it's implied. They don't like say those certain things. But...
All right. I mean, yeah, you do you, man. I'm tired of.
Am I alone here?
No, I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I just thought that they tried to do something with her because they had her running everywhere, and she was like the one finding the dead bodies. What she find? She found the girl, and then she got caught and was gonna get like lynched.
I do want to say when she found the woman with the barbed wire around her head, that was a good scene.
That was good.
That was actually a really good shot where it pans around her head.
It shows.
And that woman, I'm pretty sure that woman was at least still alive, like
Something. I
alive
thought she
enough to
moved.
kind of like, she definitely moved to turn her head, and then I think that she
because
she either died or she started to die.
Right. The
after
reveal is seeing what happened to her, and usually they would not always, but they can like cut to a visual of one face to another face.
Yeah, like
but instead
they do. It's really
it's shot both of their
done.
faces behind Karen's head.
They start on one side of Karen's head, to where we see the
Then it
behind of the
goes-
woman, the back of the woman's head, the back of the woman's head. Then
Karen's
it
head
pans
blocks
around,
it.
one whole shot,
So then you get revealed.
and then the woman's head, she slowly turns a little bit, kind of. I guess
so you can
as
see it a little more.
Yeah.
The
turns,
full.
and you see and it's really well done too. Her face, like that's one of the best pieces.
That's what I was
of the
looking
movie.
like. How is it gonna look good? And it looked pretty good with the
And it was like
barbed stuff around her face.
And I was like,
not
damn,
too
it was
much.
a really
like,
good
ripped
shot.
up.
The way it revealed that, and it wasn't overkill on her face.
Yeah.
Like it looked about maybe like what you would expect that to look like if that
Right.
happened.
So that was cool. It went from right shoulder to left shoulder, right behind. So
And
that
then
didn't have to
and
cut.
then Karen's like, oh my god,
Right,
like
so
but
then
like
she
also
runs
her
away
reaction to
again.
it for a second, she's kind of like, and then she runs away. Like
Right.
it was like that. Just whole scene is like, I wish. There are just parts like that where I wish the whole movie was done that way. Well, not like that exact thing. Like
No,
not
not
that
that
just
thing,
like
but
those
that
like
kind of
panning
a-
shots the whole fucking movie.
No.
I don't
That
want it like an hour
attention
and
to detail.
Yeah, like that stuff like that, just like attention to detail. Those parts that are really well done and like great to watch.
That would be cool to have if they took the whole. It's
Like
pretty
that
good.
was really good. And I'm saying like that shot alone doesn't make the whole movie good. I'm not trying to say
No,
it's
no.
brilliant. Nothing's ever
But
been done
in
like
the
that
movie,
before.
that
Like
shot
that's really good.
was well done.
I'm not saying it's never been done before. It's groundbreaking, but it's like it's really well done and like a whole movie done with that same level of quality in it would have been just great to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be great if like there were a lot of movies that are like if like every movie was like that. But no, that's unfortunately we live in the reality where they're not.
Yep, some are good, some are bad, some are really bad, some are really good.
Some are just.
That's why you gotta enjoy the good ones. But so I can't remember what happens after exactly, but I know she gets lynched up and she's about to get hung by
Yeah,
the
in
baseball.
she gets.
Or no, the basketball.
She's running away from when she saw the one with the barbed wire.
Oh.
And she runs into Angela and just falls
faints.
down.
Just faints.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Crumbles.
And then she wakes up. She's in the
Gymnasium.
Yeah.
Something. One of the halls where they eat, or they have
the gymnasium, because there was basketball goals. Because
Yeah.
she gets Angela
tied up to the backboard.
Ties to the backboard of.
She presses the button and it starts to lift up, and she's gonna get.
And she's like, "Oh my God, Alan!
Right.
Don't do this to me!" It's not Alan.
She thinks it's Alan, and then Alan's brother. Don't know his name. I can't remember.
Stepbrother.
He comes in, and
they made that clear.
Yeah, Alan.
He made that clear.
Or not Alan. Angela hits the
director. I don't give a fuck what he is.
Yeah.
Just go get it.
Yeah. Do it. So Angela doesn't want to get cut, so she hits the button to stop it from the backboard from lifting up.
Yeah, she runs out. The guy comes in. He's like, "Oh my God!" And then she comes back in as the cop pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
But
goes, what's going on over here?
I think because I think the cop always had the black pants on. I think the only difference was Angela had the gloves and the hoodie on.
Right, just put that on real quick.
I think that was it. So she could just like take it off, then take off the gloves, come back in, and be like, "What's going on?"
Right.
And then to not get caught, like you said, she turns it off as the cop.
Right. So.
Which smart move.
Mm-hmm. So so that happens, and then they're looking for Alan. Alan's brother finds him. Has a not a crochet. Look, what's it called? That game.
Croquet.
Croquet, yeah. Okay.
Croquet.
Has the mallet.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna stop him like once and for all. Like I'm gonna something like that. He grabs the croquet mallet.
Goes and finds him, and Alan's sitting with
Gives
his frogs.
Him a good whack to the face.
Right, and then just starts wailing on him. Then does he turn around and see something, or what?
Angela catches the croquet mallet before he can deliver the killing blow.
He's about to slam.
And then he turns around, sees her, and it goes to black.
Right.
She does that a lot in this movie, actually.
Mm-hmm. So, at the same time, Ricky comes from his job elsewhere because they.
Did you mention Ricky meeting Angela? Well, meeting Angela.
No. So Angela, disguised, goes to talk to Ricky. And Ricky mentions that he sees Angela
once a month.
He makes sure to go see her often, or regularly, at where she's at, because
the Ricky in this movie is still portrayed by Jonathan Tiersten.
Right, same
and
Ricky.
I like
from
that
the
they
first.
keep certain qualities about him carried through to this movie. I like how he still, I guess, holds Angela close to his chest.
Still family,
And still,
and cares for her.
I like how he said I still go to see her. He says the Angela, the Sheriff Angela, mentions the possibility of Angela having escaped, and he's like, Angela's
still locked up, or
locked
still
up in the padded room or whatever, like whatever he says.
Right, I go see her
for like the past such and such amount, such and such years, and he says I go and see her once a month, and then he's like, I'm the only one who goes and sees her.
Yeah, so he's still checking
which it's
up
like
on
okay,
her.
I like that, that little piece there, and then I also liked how the Sheriff Angela was like, you mean it's Peter Baker, Peter Baker disguised as Angela, or like posing as Angela Baker or whatever, and then this is Angela saying this,
right,
and then Ricky was like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, took offense to that.
Yeah, so Ricky still believes it's he knows, because I know you were like, wait, wouldn't he know? It's like he does know. That's what it implies, that he does know, but he still wants to believe it's Angela. He still sees Angela as Angela.
Right, he still has feelings because it's family and yeah.
Angela is Angela, and he's like, you want to? He's like, you're a guy, but you want to be a girl.
Right,
I'm down.
It's cool, man. I'm down with it.
28,
2008.
28.
2008.
2808. But so I like that about Ricky.
Right, and I guess he got a phone call, probably from Angela.
Yeah, tell him to come to the
camp.
For some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
why.
sure. So he shows up, him and Ronnie, and then a counselor. I don't know her name.
I can't remember her name either, but
they're looking. They're doing their own party.
Well, Ricky arrives, and suddenly he's kind of a suspect for everything that's going on.
I guess just because Ronnie probably Ronnie thinks it's Angela, and
Ronnie thinks it's Angela. The cop, Sheriff Angela, says to Ronnie, keep an eye on Ricky, and then Ronnie's like, I will, and then so Ronnie's like, Ronnie's kind of being like, no, man, you're not a suspect. And Ricky's like, bullshit, I know I'm a suspect. Because Ricky showed up and...
Right when things were getting
heated, or like a little bit after they started getting heated. There are a lot of scenes in this movie, like this one, where you can kind of just do like a parallel to the first movie.
Right.
Which, good and bad. There are good things and bad things about that. But anyway, so... Like, Ricky arrives and he's like, what's going on? Like, they think Angela's back. And then Ronnie's like, oh, did you just go to talk to him or whatever, something like that. And then the Sheriff Angela, I don't remember exactly what they said, because the sound, like we said, that the ADR in this movie wasn't well done.
They didn't do a good job at
there were times where like I could
with the music and
clearly understand what someone was saying.
Yeah.
Then anytime there was music going up, it was like I can't really understand. Angela disguised as the cop, especially with like the I can't remember what it's called, but it's whenever you got like larynx cancer and you can't really speak anymore, so you got to get the little electronic that makes you have like a sort of robotic voice. I can't remember what that's called. I don't got off the top of my head, but Angela used that a part of her disguise,
right?
So as to not use her voice. Fine, whatever. When she, whenever she does that, sorry, it's harder to understand with that age, with the way they do the sound. Is she talks fast, kind of. It's a little unintelligible because she talks so fast, and mixed with the background sound design, like there are times where it's hard to pick up what it's like clear. Hard to catch, and it's like what is that? So she said something like, I talked to him last week, or I went and saw him last week. I haven't seen him since last week or whatever. And then Ricky's like, that's bullshit. You called me just an hour ago or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then that's why Ricky's there. So like you said, Angela probably called him. I can't even begin to imagine why.
Right.
Honestly,
sure.
But I don't know why Angela
just to
would.
Bring him in, for fan service.
Yeah, and Angela wouldn't kill him. I don't imagine.
I hope not.
You wouldn't think she would.
Yeah, but
especially if he goes to fucking see her every month, it still treats her like family.
Right, still cares
the way
for her.
He always treated her. I mean, you'd think she...
And he didn't do anything to her.
You'd think she'd be protective of him. So, like, why would she call him to come to all this?
Just to see, look what I did for you. So those three are looking in the woods.
Yeah, and Ricky's, like, kind of a suspect, kind of not. Ronnie's like, no, you're not a suspect. Ricky's like, bullshit. And then it's like, yeah, Ricky hasn't changed. Great. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, there, boy. So they're looking, they come across Alan just laying on the ground, half alive. And... they probably said something like, "Are you like? Oh my God, who did this?" And like his little
fucking Ronnie kneels down to him and is talking to him like he's Lassie or something. At first he's all like,
"Oh yeah."
The way he's talking, he doesn't say this, but the way he talks to him, he's basically like, "Alan, no, Alan, don't die. Come on, Alan, don't go." And then Alan's kind of like trying to point. He's like, "What is it, Alan? What is it, boy? What are you trying to tell me?" And then Alan, like,
he tries to point, but
points behind him, and then they're like, "What's over there?" And then then Angela starts walking up.
The woman counselor walks over to.
Oh yeah, she walks over to where Alan's pointing. Then Angela's coming up.
Ronnie and Ricky are still there but you couldn't hear her so quiet. Angela starts to walk and she's saying something,
and like she's dropping like the cop.
You
wig,
see the
wig.
They have to be so mean all the time. They think they can do whatever they want to you and get away with it. But they didn't know I was here, did they? I've been waiting a long time for this. A long time. In the end, they all get what they deserve.
I knew it was you.
And then she drops the device.
It was going in and out for me. With the voice.
She said something about them being
all being like mean.
Yeah,
being mean, not like Angela from 2 and 3, where it's like they were fornicating and drinking or whatever. Rabble rousers, roustabouts.
Not Randy, not raunchy. Being
being raunchy.
Yeah,
they were fornicating. That's what she said. She said fornicate or fornicator. Things like that. She's like, just say sex. But anyway, she wasn't like that. In this one, she was killing them because they were being mean, which I think I can get with a lot more
Makes more sense with the first one.
Yeah, as an excuse for her killing people. Specifically Angela, like you said, with the first one. I can get with that a whole lot more than suddenly she's...
Just doing things together. We're having sex. I don't like it.
Suddenly she's the saintly sentry.
Yeah.
And just like going around
passing her
patrolling.
judgment. Like,
and it's
get
like...
out of here.
It made a lot more sense for Angela to be killing people for being like
bullies
mean and bullies and stuff like that because of what was going on in the first film. So that I like too. Like that was a better alibi for her to be killing.
Mm-hmm.
So she says something about that, and then she drops the thing. You can understand her better because
and then she speaks with her voice, and she says something with he skinned frogs or something. How's he like it now?
He liked skinned frogs. So how's he like it now or whatever? Because you mentioned he skinned the frogs, right?
Yeah, he skinned the frogs earlier.
And
to make Alan mad and to make him look bad with the girls he had.
Yeah, and then we see Angela, and she's like.
Then it shows Angela.
Let's see, how's he like it now or whatever.
Michael thought skinning frogs was cool. Ask him how cool it is now.
Being like wacky face and shit, and then
kind of like the first one where she has a big eyes and wide mouth.
Yeah, laughing. But now she's laughing.
Right.
So okay.
And then it shows.
It shows the girls like.
The council girl screams, so Ronnie and Ricky run over. No.
When sort of Ronnie runs over. Ricky, when they say, okay,
yells.
so Ronnie's like, I knew it was you, because Ronnie the whole time he's like, it's happening again.
Right.
Angela's back.
It's Angela, yeah.
And then Ricky just for some reason, Angela, Angela, like that. It's not a. It's like he's Ricky again. It's like he's little Ricky again. Just get Angela. Screams her name for some reason. It's like, yes, thank you, Ricky. We all know it's Angela.
Perfect. If you didn't know, now you do. And Ronnie goes over, looks
Ronnie
down.
goes over to look at Michael, I think was his name.
I think that sounds right.
And he's been skinned alive.
Yeah, he's just all
he's
red
been flayed, which...
blood everywhere.
Not as over the top as I would have expected it to be. It actually was... Usually if that were to be floated to me, I'd be like, well, that might be kind of... Sometimes it's fine. Like, it depends on how it's done. It could be like, really extreme. But seeing it in this,
kind of mild.
The way they did it in this one, they didn't get too in your face with it.
Just kind of like a Maj Paj. Like,
it looks.
You kind of see some ribs, but
it was like, you know what? Maybe that's kind of what it would look like if you were just like skinned alive by someone with like a knife,
right?
Like, you know, like kind of roughly.
So
I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't done it.
Right, haven't done it. Haven't
I
done it.
Imagine that's
had it done.
I imagine
to
that's
me.
not a bad interpretation.
No.
And I just love that. Just the way he's laying there, like the way he looked. It looked like I didn't hear his voice. I didn't hear that. No, he didn't say anything. But I didn't like what he would have been saying in my head. I didn't hear his voice anymore. Like, because usually he was talking like, "Oh, I'm gonna stop this once and for all," or whatever. The way we've been talking, like seeing him in this scene, like all I could imagine was like Ronnie going over to him, kneeling down, or like not kneeling down, but seeing him
boy?
And him. What is it, boy?
Yeah.
What, the well?
Talk to me.
But
Kill me.
Trouble at the mill. No, this seeing him here, like I can imagine, like the way I imagine it. He looks up at Ronnie. He's just like, Ronnie, please, Ronnie, please, kill me.
Kill me.
My life is pain. Ronnie, please kill me.
Oh, I'm in so much
like that's his voice now. Because like I was talking to you.
Right.
You, know,
you lose skin.
When your
voice
your
deepens.
skin determines what your voice sounds like. So when you lose it, you hear your real voice.
Right. There's no. Right. Yeah. There's no.
The sound
holding you back.
The sound placement holding you back. Yeah, like you said, like you were talking about the thicker the skin, the higher the voice.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is funny. But
so anyway, yeah, I just imagine him being like, Ronnie, please kill me, Ronnie.
You know what to do.
My life is pain.
End it.
Ronnie, please, I beg of you.
In my pain.
But Angela just starts like fucking laughing hysterically.
Oh, she's continuing laughing, right?
Yeah, she started laughing and she's still laughing and she's like, ah. She's doing like a witchy laugh.
Right.
Not a bad one.
No. I'm gonna say this. I do it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Hot.
Totally.
Oh my God.
All right. Okay. Okay. Which sleepaway?
Angela.
Which sleepaway camp? Which sleepaway camp movie would you be most likely to? Which sleepaway
Which camp would I would have been at?
Which sleepaway camp Angela would you want to fuck?
Am I this
Number
age?
one.
Well, the great thing is she does look very similar.
She does.
Like I was gonna mention that she looks
Aged well.
older, but still.
Yeah, I guess, is that a sign of, I guess, you aged well?
I don't know. I mean, she looks pretty good. If I was a teenager, number one. Now that I'm this age, number 4. No offense to number 2. Number 3, I might, just because of the hair.
Yeah, I think Pamela Springsteen in number 3.
But number 4 and number 4 is just.
Can you imagine, like, the actress who played Angela is listening to this? We're just like, oh, I'd do it.
My address is.
She did age well.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you do, I think if you can tell, like, if you can look at her and be like, that is the same actress. She looks pretty similar. I think that is, like, you did age pretty well. So yeah, if she does that laugh, like just this hysterical witchy laugh, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. She actually did pretty well. Maybe that's just
her laugh.
Maybe she's just. That's not what I was gonna say. Maybe she is just like these are the only 2 movies I've seen her in, but maybe she is a good actor or a fair actor. Maybe
Could be.
She might actually be the best one in the entire series.
I think so.
Pamela Springsteen
As
could have been.
much as I like Ronnie.
Oh yeah, I like Ronnie. Well, I found it when Ronnie was yelling was very strange.
What did he say?
When Ronnie
he
would
whispered. He's like, Angela.
Ronnie, where are you going?
I'm gonna put an end to this before it goes any further.
What are you talking about?
She's back, Jenny. That evil little witch is back.
Who?
Angela. Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Angela.
Because
Yeah,
it was so
something
quiet
like that.
compared to everything else. It's like,
Angela. Yeah. I guess actually would make sense for Ronnie to be like that obsessive about Angela coming back.
yeah. I thought it was totally.
Well, the way the first one ended, I guess at first it's like, well. But then when you think about it a little bit more, like, yeah, it makes sense. And the first one, his reaction really, well, and actually no, I understand why he was a little bit dialed back in the first one because he had to process that what previously was thought to be a 14-year-old girl had a dick and balls.
Yeah, is not a girl.
Like how you said, face, balls, hair.
Balls.
Yeah. Like his reaction was totally real.
Yeah.
How can it be? My God, she's a boy.
Duh.
Yeah. No, I would have believed it far more. I feel like Ronnie's reaction to Angela's reveal in the first one, not at all believable. It would have been far more believable. He looked at her and he's like, what? Oh, I got all these pictures.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On the backside. No wonder I didn't know.
I love that. On the backside.
But we forgot about the best part. So she's witchy. She's a witchy girl.
Oh yeah, I was getting to that.
Okay.
Yeah, the way the movie ends is extraordinary. She is doing the witchy laugh, and I thought we were just gonna end on her face, and be like ah or whatever, like you probably think, and then she just boom. Looks right at the fucking
camera
at you, and then it cuts like immediately. Like I love that. Like I loved how we were watching it. I was like, nope, she's still going. All right, and then that like timing was impeccable. Then as soon as I was like, all right, and then she looked at me and I was like, Jesus, I didn't mean it. She's like,
you keep laughing.
It's very surreal.
A good way to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the stare, I'd do it.
You think you'll have enough stamina?
Yo, you know he will.
Yeah,
will
he
you?
No.
I haven't even started yet. Just watching, I get tired.
Yeah. Oh, it's exhausting.
Roddy!
Scene.
All right, so how do you want to top this off? Just, I guess the verdict is all right.
It was all right. Watch number 1.
Buy number 1. Definitely. That's all you
need.
There you go. Yeah, just 4 number one's the one I would buy.
I think it should have ended there.
Number one's the only one I could buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because one was $100.
To buy number 2, multi-format Blu-ray DVD, as you would
That's
most
ridiculous.
movies now, was $100 fucking dollars.
That's ridiculous.
To buy it new. To buy number 3 new multi-format was $30. I didn't see how much Return was, but I think Return was closer to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, Jesus Christ, am I going to pay $100 for Sleepaway Camp 2?
No, do not. But I think number 1's good. The idea was good. Girl, not really a girl, boy.
Execution of the twist was great.
And then that's it.
Didn't feel forced.
No.
Didn't feel forced. That was the biggest thing for me about the twist.
And if that was
it flowed right in. Like, it just fit. Clicked right with it. And it felt... Yeah, there's not much I can say, really.
If they would have ended it there, I would have been totally fine. I'd be like, holy shit.
And it did end it there. With the twist.
That's true. They did try to do it, and then they wanted to... But they should have just stopped.
No, they did end it on the twist in the first one.
No, I mean, like, no more movies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
If they just would have ended it and been like, that's...
It would have
been... Sleepaway Camp, that's it.
They would have been way better. I think they would have been better off.
It would have been like, wow.
I think the company that acquired it went bankrupt, and that's why Sleepaway Camp 4 ended up the way it did.
Gotcha.
Not Return to Sleepaway Camp.
The actual
number 4 that was going to come out in, I think, 92, but it got released in 2012. Finally, because somebody was able to get the footage that they did get.
But it's so bad. I actually went and read the synopsis on Wikipedia the other day, and it, like, it's bad when even the synopsis on Wikipedia doesn't make sense. Like, because it sounds like, just from reading it, it was like, the gist of it, from what I remember, was, I believe a different person, not even Pamela Springsteen, like, it's a totally different person. Third person.
Yeah, Angela. But the way it goes is, like, Angela doesn't know she's Angela. Like, she has amnesia or something, but she's having flashbacks to the original movie, or like the massacre that happened in the original movie. It's like, okay. But we don't know. You're not supposed to know she's Angela yet. When we're reading on the Wikipedia, of course you know. But,
right.
Like, she's having flashbacks of that. She talks to her psychiatrist or something, and they're like, oh, you should go back to the site of that camp, and maybe it'll help you alleviate. It's like, I don't understand. Maybe that would work, I guess. I don't know. But, like, so they think at first, like, the girl went to that camp. Or I think, like, the girl member's going to that camp or something. When she goes there and sees it, and she's like, oh, there's a camper here. And building up. And then she meets, like, a park ranger or something there. Mm-hmm. The ranger tries to have sex with her. Now I'm talking about, I was reading from the synopsis. Right. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know what actually happens. I'm going by what the synopsis said. The ranger tries to have sex with her. It's a very short synopsis. She runs away. She finds this hunter. The ranger catches up to her, and suddenly she has the hunter's gun, and she says she like threatens to shoot the ranger if he doesn't leave her alone. Then she goes back to the hunter.
Is the hunter alive?
Kills the hunter.
Okay.
It's very confusing in the synopsis. I imagine this is. It was so confusing in the synopsis that I imagine it was quite accurate to the film. Perfect. So she kills the hunter, and then now she has like a knife. I guess it's the hunter's knife, and then the ranger catches up to her, and then she kills the ranger with the knife, and then she remembers that she's Angela or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It just sounded. I was
Welcome to the club.
Thank God I did not fucking watch that.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I think like what happened with it was it finally got a full release just around 70 minutes long. So that's about. But like the flashbacks are like the footage from like the other movies. So that's
promising.
So I imagine their flashbacks because they had to use.
They took the stuff all that, yeah.
Yes.
Clever.
Who knows?
Clever girl.
To a degree, but so that's the deal.
So that's Sleepaway.
It. Sleepaway Camp 1, watch it. Mm-hmm. That's the one. 2 and 3. I won't stop you from watching them, but I would recommend at least don't have any expectations when you go watch them. Major disappointment. And
Return is almost like a sequel where it's like, oh yeah, it wasn't as good, but it's a sequel.
Return feels like an actual sequel to Sleepaway Camp 1. Certainly, it feels like a real sequel to Sleepaway Camp 1. But like you said, is like nowhere near as good.
Yeah. So I mean, if I had to just watch one, if you want to watch more, watch the Return because it's like,
it's got a little bit. It's got a little bit of what one had, but
if you want to see what happened after.
I guess, yeah, it feels too much like it's trying to do one again.
Yeah, that's the only downside. So I would just say one.
It doesn't feel like it's trying to do Sleepaway Camp. We'll just say Sleepaway Camp 2. It doesn't feel like it's trying to do Sleepaway Camp 2. It feels like it's trying to do Sleepaway Camp 1 again.
1.2 or 1.5, where it's like they're just the grown-ups now.
Yeah, basically, it doesn't feel like it feels like less like a sequel and more like a let's do it again.
Right.
But they're all adults now. Let's do it again 25 years later, basically.
Right. So yeah, just one.
But
one,
no, it didn't.
Fine.
It didn't do it as good though.
No.
It doesn't really work to replace Angela with a big retarded kid.
No, it didn't work out. But well, they did find out.
Yeah.
That it didn't work because it wasn't a hit.
Yeah, wasn't him.
But
so that's it.
All right, that's it.
We're done with Sleepaway
Thanks,
Camp.
Comment.
Thanks for listening.